Stop watching programming tutorials. Now, don't get me wrong. Programming tutorials can be a great way to learn programming. But in case you don't know, there is a thing called tutorial hell. So what is tutorial hell? Well, it's a literal hell for new programmers. To put it in simple words, you keep consuming programming tutorials without ever coding yourself or applying the knowledge in the real world and building real apps. You will be stuck in a cycle of watching tutorials day and night. I have experienced tutorial hell myself. I became obsessed with programming tutorials. My YouTube recommendation feed was filled with programming tutorials. And the funniest part is that I hardly ever applied what I learned by watching numerous tutorials. I almost wasted 1 year thinking I could write code. And when I mustered up the courage to write a small project, I realized my mistakes. I couldn't even remember the if and else statement syntax, despite knowing nested if and else statements. The point is, I'm not saying you should quit watching tutorials. What you should do is watch tutorials, but make sure to practice what you have learned. For some, it even becomes a form of procrastination. Unless you apply your knowledge, you won't learn anything. Practice is a must if you want to understand the concepts. Don't be afraid of failures, just do it.
Do it!
I used to follow the 20-80 rule, 20% learning and 80% practice. Let's suppose you have 10 hours to learn programming each day. So you should divide that time into learning and applying. In other words, spend 2 hours watching tutorials or learning stuff, and use the remaining 8 hours to apply what you have learned. Even if you spend countless hours figuring out a simple thing, you gain a massive amount of experience and confidence.